This news just broke, and it's already causing a stir. I was honestly surprised by it. Some people are saying a bombshell could be about to drop regarding the future of the Crimson Tide. Others insist it's all just an exaggeration. But who's actually telling the truth? Is Kalen DeBoer's job already in jeopardy? Or are we looking at another controversial prediction, completely baseless, that's just going to rile up the fan base? Stick around to the end, because what's been revealed is getting everyone talking, fans, analysts, and the wider college football community alike. And while you're at it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the Alabama Crimson Tide coverage you won't find anywhere else. In the last few days, a specific statement has grabbed the attention of college football fans. Many were alarmed to hear that Kalen DeBoer's future could be at risk if Alabama were to finish the 2026 season with a record of just 8 wins and 4 losses. The claim came from commentator Blain Crain during an episode of his podcast. According to him, the pressure from the Crimson Tide fanbase would be so intense that DeBoer would end up getting fired after his 3rd year at the helm. The statement quickly gained traction because it touches on one of the most sensitive topics in college football: the almost impossible expectations surrounding Alabama following the historic Nick Saban era. After all, we're talking about a program accustomed to contending for national titles practically every year. For many fans, any season without a playoff appearance or an SEC championship feels like a failure. That mindset ensures that any prediction regarding the head coach's future sparks a massive reaction. But that's exactly where the plot twist comes in. Despite Blain Crain's prediction, several analysts have pointed out that the financial and administrative reality is completely different from the narrative the commentator spun. And that is where many people began to realize that the supposed bombshell might not be exactly what it seemed. Just a few months ago, the University of Alabama itself demonstrated total confidence in Kalen DeBoer by extending his contract and significantly increasing his annual compensation. The new deal raised his salary above what Nick Saban was earning during his final years with the program, clearly showing that the university remains committed to the coach leading the Crimson Tide's new era. There is also another detail that hardly anyone mentioned when this controversy first arose. If Alabama were to decide to fire DeBoer without cause, simply due to underperformance, the cost would be astronomical. The contract stipulates that approximately 95% of the remaining value must be paid to the coach. This amounts to roughly $65 million, payable in a lump sum. Furthermore, even if DeBoer were to accept another job immediately, that new salary would not offset the buyout amount. In other words, from a financial standpoint, it would be one of the most expensive decisions in the recent history of college football. This scenario leads many experts to believe that an 8-4 record would hardly be enough to trigger such a drastic change. Naturally, no one at Alabama would be satisfied with that level of performance. Fans would be demanding, debates would intensify, and the pressure would be immense. However, there is a vast difference between fan dissatisfaction and an official decision by the university. Another key point is that, contrary to popular belief, fans do not fire coaches. The final say rests with athletic director Greg Byrne, who oversees the university's sports program. So far, Byrne's actions point to the exact opposite of Blain Crain's prediction: a vote of confidence, significant investment, and a commitment to the project led by Kalen DeBoer. Of course, no one can predict the future. If Alabama were to have a much worse season with truly disappointing results, the conversation might shift entirely. But treating a hypothetical 8-4 record as a guaranteed firing seems to overlook financial, administrative, and strategic factors that are crucial to any decision of this magnitude. Ultimately, the real story isn't that Alabama is going to fire Kalen DeBoer. The real story is that a controversial prediction by Blain Crain has sparked a heated debate among fans and analysts, even though many experts view this scenario as unlikely, precisely because of the lucrative contract recently signed and the high cost of firing would entail for the university. Now, I'd like to hear your opinion. If Alabama finishes a season with an 8-4 record, do you think Kalen DeBoer should remain in charge of the Crimson Tide, or would it be time to look for a new coach? Leave your answer in the comments, as this discussion is sure to continue for a long time.